All right, welcome everybody. This is the podcast, Pouring Over Properties, where Vegas locals spill over homes and local spirits. So here we are today, Beau McDougall, next home, Scott Lamborn, Equity Title of Nevada, both born and raised Henderson boys for the most part. This is something that we care about, alcohol in homes. This is what we do.
So, we've both been in real estate for a good amount of time. Obviously, my family's been in real estate a very long time.
Let's not call them out, Let's not talk about how old they are.
Right. But the point of this podcast is to talk about real estate, the down, the dirty, and the fun, while supporting a local brewery or distillery here in the local Nevada area, mostly Las Vegas. But so today, who we got?
We got a little beer zombies. Probably a more newer to the Las Vegas scene, I'd say, in the beer scene.
They're the same people in Skinny Fats.
Oh, they are?
They are.
Did not know that. Love a skinny fat. I love an option. Sometimes I want a little extra cheese and a little extra large. I had a couple extra beers last night. Sometimes I want to feel light and healthy because you never know.
Right?
So Skinny Fats is the perfect blend of those two. So that's a fun little fact. So what we're drinking today is actually called Zombie Duck Hunter. So it's an IPA that they do serve. It's a pretty good IPA. A little bit, I would say, stronger than I guess your average.
Let's see what we got here. 7.2%.
All right, so that's probably on par with where IPAs stand these days. I'm not that into the craft beer scene to know my IBUs and all of that, so don't judge me there, but I'm good on homes and data. So
well, this is our second podcast, and if you guys watched our first podcast, if not, you really should. But we found out we have a tagline, and it is Cheers to that. All right, so today we decided we'd do something fun. We talk about some myths around real estate, home ownership, and then we both thought we'd throw in some Las Vegas myths and try to dispense those since we are born and raised here.
Yeah.
So the fun fact is we have our own myths that we haven't told the other person, so we're going to see each other's reactions and see if they can add to the myths of real estate and or Las Vegas.
Beau. Give me good questions here, Beau.
All right. So
feed the beast.
So with that, then I guess I will start. So let's go with, when you see a foreclosure, because you're an auction guy.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of, I gotta get in the camera. A lot of clients that use third-party sites, your Zillows, your Redfins, what have you. We all call those third-party sites.
Yeah.
They see the term foreclosure on the website. One, does that really mean it's in foreclosure? And two, does that mean they're gonna be able to steal it?
All right, so yes, to the first part of that question, it is in foreclosure. What stage of the foreclosure process is a whole nother level. So there's so many different stages to the foreclosure process. They don't just show up one day and say, hey, we just sold your home, sorry about it. They notify you. If you don't pay your mortgage, they're going to send you stuff. They're actually going to be certified mail because they have to prove that it was sent to the right place because there's a lot of moving parts here and usually a few $100,000 at stake as well. So it actually is important there. So they send you a notice of default. They send you a notice of sale, and at any point of those being sent out, it could be tagged as a foreclosure or what is known as a pre-foreclosure at that point. But a lot of websites just have a foreclosure button.
Yeah, that first notice goes out, it's foreclosure.
And then also it can go to auction, and obviously it's in foreclosure while it's headed to auction. And then sometimes at auction, it doesn't sell to an investor. It might go back to the bank because the bank was owed too much money.
Which is technically the first bidder here in Nevada.
Exactly. So it might go back to the bidder, if you will, and that would be the bank. And at that point, it's a bank-owned property. But like I just mentioned, a lot of these filters, they don't have bank-owned property options. It just says foreclosure because it did get foreclosed on, but now the bank owns it. They took it back, and they have options what they want to do with it from that point. So yeah, it could be any one of those 4 stages of the foreclosure, I guess, process, if you want to call it that, of why it's tagged that way.
But it hasn't been foreclosed.
No, foreclosed only happens in a split second.
Yeah.
It goes up to auction, somebody buys it, foreclosed, now that person owns it. It's foreclosed on while the guy says you win, and then somebody else owns it, just like the bank or an investor, or whoever it may be.
And this is the thing when we talk about the deals of foreclosures, because I get a lot of people that are looking for the deals, the deals, right? So when someone sees that foreclosure tag, you may not be getting a deal.
No, it has nothing to do with.
And the only way you get the deal is if you have cash and go to the auction.
Yes, go to the auction, or some people, this is what wholesalers do. I'm sure it's a term that a lot of people have heard out there. Wholesalers go to that home owner that's getting foreclosed on, and they offer them cash. Say, hey, I see that you're owed, because in the notice of sale, it tells you how much is owed on that bank loan. So if there's only $300,000 owed on the bank loan, and the home's worth 400, and let's just say the median price was about 420,000 right now. Well, heck, hey, Beau, if you're in foreclosure, I'll offer you 25,000. Let me get that property.
Yeah.
You walk away with a bunch of money. I'm getting a deal on this property. I'm going to go make margins myself, but guess what? You were kind of out of luck. You were going to get foreclosed on and basically kicked out with no money.
Yep.
So this is a solution for you, Mr. Beau. Yes, it's a subpar to what your home is maybe worth, but also you're in a bind.
Yeah, you're not going to get the.
So that's a whole different strategy, and it's a whole, I guess, avenue of home buyers out there. I'm sure we've all heard of like the We Buy Ugly houses. That's a version of, I would say, a wholesaler.
Absolutely. All right. What do you got?
All right. So let's switch it up. So that was a home buying one. So I'm going to do a Vegas myth. Let's just switch that up. Throw that at Beau. So Vegas myth. All right. Las Vegas isn't near anything. All there is casinos. What do I do as a family?
I would say it's 100% debunked. I think Vegas is centrally located to almost everything.
It's a great place. Yeah.
Right?
Super biased, but
super
let's
biased.
get into it.
But let's say you give me 4 hours, I can give you some of the best skiing, the best beaches, the best entertainment.
Food.
I mean, you only need 4 hours of food.
Vegas is food.
Yeah, you got food.
It's insane. Yeah.
But you're 4 hours away from some of the best natural wonders of the world. You got, Grand Canyon.
Zion.
Zion.
Beautiful.
Death Valley if you want to see the hottest temperatures.
No,
but
we're almost there.
No, I'd say that's definitely false. We are centrally located. And the nice thing about Vegas, if you're a business traveler or traveler in general, our airport at the time of this taping, unless they give us a second airport, is centrally located no matter where you are. You're 20 minutes away from the airport.
Yeah, I mean, the people that feel like I live in what we call Hendertucky, which is, really on the outskirts of Henderson.
Fun fact, used to be called?
Oh, no. Old Henderson?
No.
Oh, no. I don't know. Fun
Basic.
fact. The whole area?
Henderson used to be called Basic. That's why we have Basic High School.
Oh, terrible. Oh, sorry. I went to Foothill High School. Nobody likes Basic High School if you went to Foothill High School. Respect.
But yeah, that whole area used to be called Basic.
Whoa. All right. Well, that got weird. I don't like your fun facts.
I know.
Yeah, we're not doing that. I thought we were doing myths. But you know what? Hey, we've moved on. Okay. What do you got for me?
All right. So I'm going to go back to we did a buyer's fact. Let's do a seller's fact. Vegas has a selling season.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. No. I would say that it necessarily doesn't have a selling season. Now, we do peak, I would say, in how many homes sell in the summer. But there's one huge factor that comes with summer sales, and it's called school. When your kids are in school, you don't want to move them, and that's not, I would say, necessarily a Vegas thing. I would say that's probably around the U.S., and that probably holds true that summer. Yeah, homes sell. There's more home selling because people are willing to move because their kids can, because they're not in the middle of a school year. They don't have to worry about getting them to school, busing them over, transporting. I know I moved in the middle of one of my school years out to Basic. So that sucks. I went to Greenspun and I moved way out to college in '95, and then my mom had to haul me into the school for a half a year, almost a full year, because of that fact. Because I was probably a little bit of a snob and didn't want to change schools and friends.
Yeah, Greenspun was good.
I wanted to go.
I'm a little biased for that as well.
Yeah, I wanted to go hang out with Beau and all the buddies that I've grown up with. So anyway, so summer homes do sell more. But I wouldn't say it's like the best time to buy necessarily.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people from the East Coast and the Midwest, they actually have selling seasons.
They do. Because weather, I feel like
it's weather. It's all weather.
You got a foot of snow. We're not going to just start moving our stuff. I mean, we're not used to snow. I don't know what that's like.
So I think the myth here is Vegas. We don't have selling seasons like most places. We do have peaks and valleys.
That's more accurate for sure. Yeah, because I honestly think buying a home in like the end of the year, the values somehow always go down, because guess what? There's less homes selling.
It does. December,
so people
November,
are willing
December.
to negotiate a little bit more. So that's an exciting fact, and that's something that I would go for. Maybe even this winter, call Beau. Look for your next dream home, because there are some deals out there. They're
All right, what do you got?
All right, so I'm gonna stick with the home theme here. Let me just check out my little questionnaire. Just flip it over. All right. Okay, let's do the location one. I like this. So, school districts don't matter if you have kids.
They absolutely do matter.
If you don't have kids?
If you don't have kids, absolutely they still matter.
Why?
Because it's all about resale. I mean, I don't have kids. Scott has a child, and school districts for his child are very important. For me, as a smart home buyer and an investor, I want my investment, because we all know that the home is, generally speaking, everyone's biggest investment, biggest generational wealth investment.
Yep.
I want somewhere where it's desirable for everybody, right? So I want that family that's looking for the specific school district that's known for their IB program, their sports program,
Private schooling near
private
Gorman.
school, whatever the case may be. Just because I don't have kids, as a smart investor, I know it's going to increase my value.
Definitely, yeah. No, I think it's a crazy thing that a lot of people even just, even conceive that it doesn't affect you if you don't have kids. Yes, it affects you, because guess what you do? You have one of those sweet mortgage rates under 3% or around 3%. Let's rent that thing out that's in a good school district, because guess who wants to move there? Somebody that has a kid or two kids, and they'll pay you primo just to live next to the school that's desirable.
They will.
That has better ratings. Yes. Big reason why I actually bought the home where I am is that it's got the best elementary and middle schools in Henderson, public schools in Henderson. Values around Gorman High School in the southwest part of town. I have people that lived over there. They have increased more than the average home just because people want to live close to their school. It's easier, commute, so many factors that go into that. So yes.
Absolutely.
Debunked.
Alrighty.
Cheers to
that. All right, I'm gonna go back to a Vegas fact.
Ooh.
And I think this one's fun, and I know you're gonna get this one right. The Las Vegas Strip is Las Vegas.
Yeah. What do you mean? Oh, all of Las Vegas. Yeah, that's where we all live. That's where we all work. That's it, right?
No, is our glimmering Las Vegas Strip Las Vegas?
Oh, that's a weird way to put it, because it's not actually. It's something that I don't even know how they come up with it or why they came up with it, but it's called unincorporated Clark County is where the Las Vegas Strip is located.
Well, all that means is the city hasn't incorporated the area, so it's part of the county.
Yes,
what that
the county
means.
owns. So the county owns this area, but it's not a part of Las Vegas. And
So-
it's called the Las Vegas Strip.
And technically speaking, if we want to go in the weeds, which I know you're a facts guy, so you'll like the weeds, they actually are in cities.
They're in our city.
No, they're in cities that just aren't incorporated cities anymore. So you have Paradise, which is a
Okay,
city.
true.
You have Winchester, which is a city.
Oh, okay.
Which is all parts of the Strip are in those two cities.
Yeah.
They just don't have their own functioning government anymore, or anything. They never really incorporated back in the 40s, 50s when Vegas was coming to.
And the county just encompassed it.
So, well, as the county, just like city, county, state, if an area is not governed, the next bigger entity has to take it over, which in our area is the county.
Weird. Okay.
So, like-
all right. Fun fact there.
So, like, the Strip, technically speaking, is if you're looking at old Las Vegas movies, is Fremont Street. That's the actual
Yes.
Las Vegas Strip, because that's in the city of Las Vegas.
Okay. All right.
So-
Okay. Oh, that's wild. That's a very fun fact. Dang, Beau, he set me up with that one.
I thought you'd have that one.
No.
All right, let's see what you got.
Not at all. So fun fact, if we're talking about jurisdictions and the county incorporating land, so everybody knows the shape of Oklahoma, right?
Yep.
It's got that weird little
Looks like a pot.
panhandle. Yeah, but why is that? Why did they just I'm gonna need that little panhandle? That's for Oklahoma to have.
I mean, I don't know, but I know most things come back to money. I'm guessing there's oil or something in that little panhandle.
Zero oil in that panhandle.
Really? Okay.
They actually got assigned to take over that land. The U.S. government
They're like,
made
yeah, you gotta-
Oklahoma take over that land. And this is why. So it used to be a part of Texas, and then the slavery, Civil War happened, and they made the 36.5-degree longitude or line where slavery, could be south of that. And anything north of that could not. Well, Texas had just a little bit all the way up to the 37th degree, and they shrunk Texas down because they, wanted to keep slavery all throughout Texas. So nobody claimed that land right above Texas. You had all the other states, Oklahoma, nobody's claiming this land. And it actually became a true wild, wild west town It was actually called, fun fact, Beer City, because this is where all the cowboys went. They would all get drunk, and this was basically their.
Is there still Beer City?
I don't think so.
I think that'd be a fun road trip, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, fun fact, next time we're going to be at Beer City, Oklahoma. So it was criminals could do whatever they want. There's no jurisdiction, no law, so it was just running rampant with, obviously anything that you could think of that's not legal. So
wow.
The U.S. government came in and said, hey, somebody's got to take over this crap, and sure enough, Oklahoma took over that stuff.
See, we know more than just what happens in Las Vegas, stays in Las Vegas.
What do you know,
All right, give it to me.
Gotta love YouTube. So, all right. So I'm gonna stick with home. Stick with home stuff. All right. So we've been talking about mortgage rates a lot because we all look at that percentage. Like, what's your mortgage rate? What's your mortgage rate? Oh my gosh, your rate's at that. Well, should you choose your mortgage based on the mortgage rate percentage alone?
No.
Why? I want the lowest rate. I want 6% over 7% every.
Well, it depends on. There's different type of mortgages, right? Are we talking about an adjustable rate? Because you could be 6% now, and 5 years from now, you could be at 15%. So there's definitely terms and situations that everyone has to look at. So I think, just like anything, you don't want to look at a singular aspect of anything and decide that's what you want. Yeah, we all want a lower interest rate, but if you're getting it in the back end some other way, and I didn't put this fun fact in.
Lenders charge points.
Well, I didn't put this as a fact in mind. I was going to actually do it is like those first-time home buyer incentives, the home as possible incentives.
Yeah. They
all look good up front because you get these rates, you get this money, until you look at the whole package and you realize that nothing's ever free.
Everybody's getting some of that, yeah.
And they will get their money one way or another. And it's just that bait and hook.
Yeah. So true. And that is, from the horse's mouth. We're not in mortgage. Obviously your lenders will have a little bit more details with that. But there are costs. There are points they charge. What a point is when somebody's charging you on a mortgage is like a percent of how much they're going to charge you for the loan. Mm-hmm. So 1% of a $300,000 loan is $3,000. Well, if they charge you 2 points, that's a $6,000 origination fee. 3 points, so on and so forth. We've seen new builders sneak in 4 or 5 points before.
Yeah.
It's been done before. So it might look juicy, it might sound sexy, but just get another quote. Have a conversation with an expert. It really helps.
Leading to the home buyers information and sneaking in points.
All right.
This is my next myth for you.
Sneak it.
Buyers don't need an agent when they buy new homes or need to get a home inspection.
Oh, what do you mean they don't need an agent? You have to be represented when you buy a home, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even a new home.
We have contracts, right? I don't want to sign a contract. I don't know what to do. We all know what happens with terms and conditions. That gets weird by itself.
Or as you just said, they could sneak in those 4 or 5 points and you think it's a good deal because they're giving you an incentive on the back end, and you have someone that knows contracts goes, this looks a little funky to me. I don't know.
Or you're not represented by an agent and you go to this house and they know what to look for. Real estate agents, they've been through hundreds of closings, if not thousands of closings. They know how people try to hide things that maybe aren't working in the house, or they know what the little things to test, which light switches to flick, actually plug in an appliance to a lot of these plugs to make sure they work. Because before you buy the home, you want to make sure all these things are in working order, because once that's transferred, it's not the seller's fault. You bought it. It's all done. You
approved
due diligence time to go and do this. So walking through a home with a home inspector, a professional real estate agent, really helps out because they know how to look for it. I know when I bought my new home, my real estate agent was sitting there putting blue tape on everything. When I was just mesmerized, I was just pumped that I was buying
good old blue tape inspection.
Exactly. I was so excited to buy the home. I was like, I don't care. It's great. I'll fix it later. No, we're paying for it. Let's make sure it's done the correct way.
And I think that goes on to the second part of that question is, you have the right and you should get a home inspection. These builders, they may have best intentions, but they are susceptible to the general contractors and the subcontractors that they hire.
Yeah.
They can't stress test every person that works on their homes. They just can't.
It's too much. Yeah.
And there's actually a great Reels, the TikTok inspector actually based out of Arizona that does primarily new homes, and it's amazing the stuff he finds.
Really?
I never really pushed for home inspections for my clients. I suggested it. After watching these guys TikToks, I go, every person needs to have a home inspection. No questions asked.
I'm gonna have to get this information. We might need to tag it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we'll put it. Well, I'll tag the guy in the YouTube here, and because it's eye-opening to see a product that you think you get is brand new, quality production, can have just stupid little errors that will come and kick you in the ass later.
Yeah, like they might not run plugs everywhere and certain things. They're trying to make margins too, these home builders.
Yeah.
So you definitely got to look out for that. So, all right. So next on the list, I'm going to throw out another Vegas myth, or let's see if we can debunk said Vegas myth to Mr. Beau McDougall. And let's see, what do I got here? All right, let's go with this one. Las Vegas is hot year-round. I hear that everywhere.
No, and this kind of upsets me because this goes with one of my Vegas facts I was going to give you. It snows here.
It hailed a month ago at my house. A month ago. It was July. And I want to say it was 100 and 7, 10 degrees. I don't know, it's hot. We don't really count when it gets to a certain hotness. And it was hailing. On the ground, hail the size, I would say, of, pencil eraser, if not a little bit bigger than that, for sure. So, yeah, it snows here. It gets cold. It's a desert. People just automatically, when they hear desert, say it's hot.
It's hot.
Well, a desert means it's the extremes, right? You can get hot and you also get cold. And desert just means precipitation anyway. So we just don't get water because Sierra Mountains squeeze it out.
Our cold wind cuts through everything.
Yeah. I have a friend moved here from Chicago. She was like, oh, it's going to be so hot. It's going to be miserable. She's like, it's so windy in Las Vegas. I was like, the Windy City? Coming here saying it's windy here? Although they named Chicago the Windy City not because of the wind. It was a political thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the politicians were so wish-washy and you would go with the monsters.
Go with the wind?
Go with the wind. So that's how the Windy City name actually came up. In Chicago. I'm a fun fact guy, so
you are.
Watch a lot of YouTube videos. I got a problem, man. My wife always makes fun of me, but hey, it's all right. Just keep it chugging along. So, fun facts. All right. So, my turn. Your turn.
My turn.
Ask me a question.
So, this is a big one for me. This is actually there's some big lawsuits actually coming out of this one, and I think agents have not done a good job in this myth of dispelling it.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
The buyer does not pay their real estate agent a commission.
Correct.
False.
The buyer does not pay the real estate agent's commission.
It's false.
No, they don't. The buyer doesn't pay it. Seller does.
Tell me why.
Because in a real estate contract, when you list a home, who do you list it with? The listing agent, the selling agent, the person that's going to put your home on the market and actually market to get it sold to the agents. And at that time, in that listing agreement that you sign, there's something called a commission authorization form that you're going to go over. Mm-hmm. And that's where it's going to say who's getting paid and how much each person's getting paid. So what it is, you can either do a flat 6% is the standard.
There's no standard.
There's no standard, yeah.
There's no standard in real estate.
There's no standard.
Everything's negotiable.
Anything's negotiable. That is for sure. But
I really enjoy my real estate license. Let's not talk about standards.
Normally, we see 6%, and that's 3% for the selling agent, the person listing your home to market it, and 3% is going to go to that buyer's agent. But the 3%, the buyer doesn't pay. It's the seller that has to pay out of their, hopefully, gains that they're selling the home. They actually pay that buyer's agent's commission.
Okay.
And it's all negotiated through that first contract, and like I said,
so let me dispel all that for you.
Okay.
So yes, you are correct on how funds are distributed.
Yeah.
So yes, the commission is negotiated between the seller's broker and a seller.
Okay.
But it is false to say that a buyer is not paying for their real estate agent's commission, because of the fact that they're paying for the price of the house. So a portion of that purchase price is going to those commissions. So just because the buyer is not seeing or actually paying out of pocket that commission to their buyer's agent,
yeah,
you cannot legally say they're not getting paid by them, because they're providing the actual funds.
Because the commission price is included in the price that they're paying for.
So technically speaking,
they're paying both sides.
If you wanted to go that way, you could say the buyer is actually paying
both sides
for the buyer and the seller's commission.
Yeah, so it's
a
way to look at it.
So it's inaccurate to say that you are getting a free service.
Yes.
As a buyer's agent.
True.
As a buyer, you are paying for a service.
Yes.
You're paying through the purchase of your home, and then those funds are getting distributed from that proceeds. But you're never getting a service for free.
True.
You're paying for it via the purchase of the home.
And something to be aware of as a seller, if I own a home and I want to list it with somebody, it's like, hey, there's 5% commissions. Well, who's getting paid what? You as a listing agent, are you going to take 3% of that and only offer 2% to the buying agent? Well, that buying agent, might not be as excited to sell the house because...
Which is unethical.
But it's also something that does happen.
It does happen.
People offer, I've seen 1% offers or 1.75, like it's just nitpicking, or some agents will offer 3.5% to the buyer's agent to show some incentive, to get people excited to come show the home a little bit more. So there are some games that real estate agents kind of play because guess what? It's commission-based industry.
And I do agree with you. You do need to ask your listing agent, of this money I am putting up to offer a commission, what's the split going to be?
Yeah, what's the
is it fair and equitable?
Is it 50-50? Is it 60-40? Like, what's going on here? Because I think that buyer's agents need to get paid as much as that listing agent.
And I do too, but needless to say that the takeaway from this point is buyers are not getting a service for free. You are paying for a service. You're paying for it in a way that may not be the normal service model. As you see,
you don't see it on your ledger.
You don't see it on your ledger.
It comes off of the seller's side of the ledger, which that's where it does get a little confusing.
But be aware that you are paying for a service.
Yeah, and you bought the home, right? You paid every bit of what that person got. So technically, yeah, you paid for the title insurance policy. You paid for it all.
Yeah.
You bought the home for $420,000. You paid for every bit of whatever fee was in there. So correct.
Nothing is free. There's also some additional fees you might see. Buyer's broker's fees depending on the company you go through.
Transaction fee.
Transaction fee.
They label all sorts of
whatever they
ways.
want to call it. And going forward, after these lawsuits kind of go through, you might see more buyer brokerage. Well, you will see more buyer brokerage agreement. I guarantee that, because even in my agency, where we weren't big on them before, I'll admit it, is now a requirement that any buyer signs a buyer brokerage agreement.
As they should.
And that dictates a certain commission or a certain percentage that your agent will be paid for the services that they provide you. And buyers agents do a lot. They do, especially...
It's a big argument in the real estate world, like who does more? You have to spend so much money, market, and get the listing. So yeah, that takes effort and stuff, but also showing a buyer 10 homes, walking them through the process, getting them with your lenders, so many conversations. Like
going through the emotional...
That actually probably takes longer
and then there's a lot more emotions on the buyer side, I feel, especially in the market.
It's a harder sell.
If we had in 2022, when you're losing home after home after home, you're not only a real estate agent, you're a counselor, you're a motivator, you're a coach, it's
true.
It's different, but be aware that if you're watching this and you're a buyer in the market, things could have a dramatic change by the end of this year, early next year.
When is that lawsuit? I want to say in
They start in October. And I don't think well, I'll take that back. There was a big lawsuit that settled about a month ago in New England area, and it's changing what they're doing out there, but it's focusing on that one MLS. So
okay,
it's interesting. We'll probably talk about it as we go through, especially for those real estate nerds out there. It's something I follow a lot, and
we kind of have to. It might change our industry. No, not totally upside down, but it will change the industry if it goes through. So, and we're gonna obviously keep you updated on that.
What do you got?
All right, so I think we're getting pretty close to the end.
I think we're.
I think I have one more Vegas fact for you, and I got. All right, so there's something. They used to test atomic bombs out here in Nevada, right?
Absolutely.
All the time.
Area 51.
There's always this rumor that people used to come to Vegas to watch the mushroom cloud of the atomic bombs. How wild of a Vegas show that is to think about. So, hey, did that ever happen?
Yes.
Did.
Yes.
They watched atomic bombs.
That's how
blow up.
That's how a bar in downtown Las Vegas became a bar.
I'm going to that bar.
Have you ever been to Atomic Liquors?
Atomic Liquors?
On Fremont Street?
I don't think I have, no.
So Atomic is between 7th and 8th Street. They have a outdoor patio where basically you would be able to watch out at Area 51.
Atomic Liquors.
And you could see the mushroom clouds.
Really? All right, well, next pod might be at Atomic Liquor, or we'll probably have to go there in between.
Yeah, no, Atomic's awesome. And they just expanded. They got food now and stuff, but it's
Really?
an old school dive bar on Fremont Street. I think it's between 7th and 8th. And that's exactly how it became to be. It was the place where you'd go drink and you'd watch the mushroom clouds.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a chance I've been there. It's just not ringing any bells right now because, I'm mixing a bar or two in my day.
Yeah,
For sure.
It's a cool place.
Crazy. What a fun thing to go watch, as a guy, I feel like I love to watch stuff blow up.
And supposedly it was far enough
pretty
away
cool.
that you didn't get affected by it.
Supposedly.
Who knows?
You can't prove it. I was behind a window. Super safe.
Well, this is our pod 2. We did some Las Vegas and real estate myths. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Definitely, yeah. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in.
Let's
cheers to that.
cheers to that. And we'll see you guys on pod 3.
Thank you.